Welcome to another episode of the Post Up. And today it's a starting five. You know, we've got our point guard, Water Boy Wavy. We got our shooting guard, Tabo. We
All
got our
day.
small forward, Ins. We got our power forward, James. And then, of course, me being the center, Shaquille O'Neal settings or Nikola Jokic, depending on which player you prefer. But yeah, what's happening, Jets?
Hey man, what's up, bro?
What's
Good
up,
back.
boys?
What's up, guys? How's it?
Yeah, there's like ish. It seems as if yeah, no, now it's gone. Now it's gone. At first there was a bit of a echo, but at least now it's fine. Now it's fine. Yeah. But anyway, Jets, can you guys hear me first of all?
Yeah.
Was it still? Yeah,
I
because I
can
think
hear
there's.
you, but there's like a in the background.
Let me just.
Yeah, I
hop
can
out
hear
and-
you. I don't know. Maybe it's on my side or
Let's do this. Let's all. I think it's my end. I'll hop out and hop back in, Legends. Just quickly do this.
all right,
Yeah.
fresh. Let me do the same on my side. Make sure.
I think you're fine, Tabo, on your end. Yeah, I think X was the culprit in this.
Yo, Jets. So, Jets, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Loud and clear.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, man. Just a bit of technical issues there that normally don't occur. But anyway, gents, I wanted us to just hop straight into the first topic. Of course, All-Star Weekend. Last week we had a preview where we had our predictions. I'll start off with the skills challenge. Like, what's your thought on the skills challenge? Were you guys entertained as far as the skills challenge is concerned? I'll start with you, James, since it's been a while since you've been on the platform.
Yeah, I don't know. I think for me, what I wanted to find out about the skills challenge is how they actually find the guys that are going to be part of the skills challenge. Like, I mean, there was obviously the group with your boy study bonds, during the dribbling competition. I'm like, how was this actually selected? Do players just like asked to be part of the skills challenge because I think there's a lot more skillful guys out there, and just the whole overall theme of the NBA like All-Star Weekend is like, how are these guys selected? Like, who selects the guys for the dunks? Who selects the guys? Get 3 points makes sense. I mean, you have to use like a certain ratio, but in terms of the skills challenge and the dunks, like, what's the criteria? And I think just the quality of the performances are just, for me personally, are getting like poorer and poorer, and it's not something that I want to tune into and check out. So I think for me, just on an overall basis, never mind just the skills challenge, when I saw Scotty Barnes and family, I'm like, what am I watching? Guys in the Southern Hemisphere were like waking up, like, or not Southern, but this part of the world, but
Yeah.
waking up this late or early, in the morning just to check out that for me is not appealing for me, man. So I think, yeah, just for me, that's just on an overall level, yo.
Oh yeah. And then ends on your end, did you understand the skills challenge? Because I'm not too sure if you saw, but at times players would make a mistake, especially the first challenge where they had to, weave their way through the court. Some players would make an error. Like I recall Banquero, I think was one of them, where he went the wrong direction. Did you on your end understand what was really going on there?
I think it's become more of like a Japanese game show, which is like really putting the game down, because now it looks like those Japanese shows where they are running around, and these are like professional NBA players. It's really embarrassing at this point, and also that whole, it's just a mess. It's just a mess. I've never really historically, from when we used to like watch the NBA All-Star Weekend, I never really used to like the skills part, but now it's gotten worse, bro. Like it's just one of those like contests that really I don't think it showcases the skills in itself. It doesn't really showcase, because they're running around shooting hoops like some arcade type of. It's really gotten worse over the years. It really is not appealing anymore.
Oh yeah. And then Tabo, did you enjoy it? Because I think you're one of the few people that actually said that it was cool, if I'm not mistaken.
I enjoyed. I think what made me enjoy it mostly was what I initially had said about it. I think the last podcast or last episode we had was the court. I think the court just caught my eye. It was very fun. That's the whole point of the All-Star Weekend, is fun. But when it comes to what Enz said right now, showcasing skills, that's no, man. And I think if you can take a random person from the stand and tell them to shoot a half court, at some point they can make it. Tell them to dribble around, tell them to pass the ball. There's no skills in that. Maybe, yeah, man. Like I wasn't looking forward to it. I did wake up for it. I'm being honest, but I wasn't looking forward to seeing exactly what's going on. I only woke up for it, I think, more to make sure that I don't miss the 3-point contest.
Oh yeah. And then of course, let's just hop on to the 3-point contest, because for me personally, I believe that it's very competitive as per usual. I mean, the scores were very high this time around. I think 26 was like the common number. But what up, boy Wavy? As far as Steph Curry and I forgot her name. What's her name again?
Sabrina Ionescu.
Yeah, Sabrina. Yes. Were you entertained by that? The competition between both parties, Steph and Sabrina.
Yeah, that was the best part of All-Star Weekend, really, because it was just, for me, it was interesting because it's different, just because that's never happened before. And it's also it's better, it's good marketing for the WNBA, because it shows something I've been saying. And people think I'm crazy for like saying these things, but like most WNBA superstars could actually compete in the NBA with some of these guys. So, and that event just showed that, most of them are on the same skill level. I mean, if you can, yes, she lost, but she was within 3 points. It was 29-26 the score. So I think for me, in terms of like skill, people nyata the WNBA more than they should. I mean, it's not as good as NBA in terms of maybe watching it. But I'm just saying, that's good. That was just good for basketball as a whole, especially women's basketball. So but I didn't enjoy it. Besides all of that, I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, and then James, do you agree? Yeah, I was about to ask. Do you agree with?
I think the only competitive segment of the All-Star Weekend essentially is the 3-point contest. Every year in, year out, everyone shows up. There's no. I mean, if you qualify for the 3-point contest, you normally find the guys are out there performing, and it's quite challenging. I mean, look at your guy like Malik Beasley, who was like completely dismal compared to the rest of the group. When you put lead 3-point shooters, now you really get exposed in terms of who's really lead. So I think in terms of that segment, I don't think it will ever die. Very competitive. And I really enjoyed Steph and Sabrina, and I think what Sabrina showed us is, I mean, Steph is the all-time legend, but she was not far off, man. If you think of the fact that the money ball is with 2 points, she lost by 3, maybe a shot and a half, basically, that she was short by. So I think, I'll be quite keen to see how that evolves. And it's quite nice that, they're integrating WNBA players. You have Mac McClung, who's part of the G League, who's now part of the whole contest.
Yeah.
Someone I'd love to see who also shoots the 3 points at a very high percentage and very high rate is Caitlin Clark. I'd love to see if she can, let's integrate some way into, of how we also integrate women's sport. Because if you look at college basketball, especially women basketball, is huge. I remember last season, I was out here watching some of those games, bro. I was actually really hyped by women's basketball, especially college basketball. WNBA, not really that competitive. I think there's a lot of spirit. So you guys must check out March Madness. It's coming up. In the next couple of weeks. It's crazy, So just quite nice advert, to see that, and Sabrina representing the women's sport essentially. And I think for me, like, she didn't count herself. Everyone thought she would have shot like 12 versus Steph's 30 or something, But Steph was sweating, bro. Like, Steph was under like a lot of pressure. If Sabrina had to beat Steph, man, it would have been something, bro. So but all out, I think, 3-point. Obviously, I enjoyed it. Let's not talk about the NBA, the All-Star game. What a poor performance. They had Bird, they even had Andre Iguodala trying to give them motivational speeches, but those guys don't play. So I think
just don't.
There's like a big push to actually have a contest on the last night, and move the dunk contest at the end.
Switch it up.
Yes, good.
And your boy won, bro. You called it. You did say Dame Lillard would win, and I wanted Ice Trae to win, my man. Like, I really, really wanted Ice Trae to win, bro.
Yeah, like I said in the last episode, the 3-point contest is like the only competitive. It's like the only native basketball contest that we see. So the guys are showcasing what they really do on the court as well. So that is not hard to like become like the premium event. And I think the NBA needs to really push it up, like even to the last day. The reason why the Steph and Sabrina show was like the highlight of the whole All-Star weekend, like Waterboy is saying, is because it's the newest thing that we've seen this year. It's like the latest thing. So I think the NBA needs to keep on changing the All-Star weekend. So next season, if they do something different, that would most likely be like the highlight. And what Tabo was saying, that quote was amazing, man. Those graphics that you play underneath, and the whole code changes. I remember when Jaylen Brown was dunking and the whole code changed into a Boston home code. It was so amazing. So I was like, this is what they need to keep on doing. This is what they need to keep on elevating, find new ways to make it more interesting, and use all the ways that you can. Like last time I was saying, put some drones, make it interesting, make it more fun. So,
but for me, doesn't that worry you to an extent that we're trying to make the NBA fun? NFL, no matter what, whether it's snowing, people are out here watching. You don't need too much hype, except for the Super Bowl weekend, which I really hate because there's too much drama around it. But
it's like I saying the Super Bowl weekend. They bring in artists like Beyonce to like prop it up because it's a showcase. It's not really a sport, but it's more like a showcase. So when you're showcasing something, you don't want to wander too far from your brand, but you want to make it interesting because now the NBA has become All-Star has become bland over the past few years. Let's be honest, guys.
Yeah.
It's just become repetitive, especially the All-Star game. There's nothing that they over and over again. So when something becomes bland, people lose interest in watching it. So now, with the few changes that they keep on making, don't wander too far from the brand, but like make it interesting with every year. They need to become more creative. That's what I'm saying. And those two things were the only things that were interesting about the whole All-Star weekend. The Sabrina versus Steph. The 3-point contest aside, because it's always competitive. and then the court itself.
Yeah.
But otherwise, the rest.
But I think we mentioned it. I think, and we also mentioned it in the last podcast. Like, there's nothing new. There's a big revamp when it comes to the All-Star. That All-Star weekend needs to happen. So much to a sense that it was trending afterwards, and the people were talking about it, bringing back those old clips from Kobe talking, your other old basketball. It just started breaking up. And imagine if we can see it. Imagine someone who's paying just say I don't know how much is a courtside ticket, to just go. I'm a fan and I'm watching it on TV and I'm not impressed, And if you're a fan who goes to the court and makes that effort, it goes back to the money part that we spoke about as well. They need to inject some more money into it. You need to invest to get something back in return.
I've heard that Major League Baseball, how they make it competitive is that they do the whole East-West thing, and whichever conference wins the All-Star game gets the home ground advantage in the finals. Do something that's gonna incentivize guys to ball out. But I think where all of this stems from, a lot of people would I've heard this speak blaming LeBron James, but I think where this for me really stems from is Derrick Rose. When he was stat padding for those last 2 minutes, when he had his 10-year Adidas contract, and for no reason he was on the court with a few seconds left, and he fucked up. Sorry,
it's cool.
That literally has ruined his whole career, ruined his whole future. Because of stat padding. So I think everyone they're very conscious of garbage minutes, basically, because it's in those garbage minutes that you actually end up like ruining your whole career or ruining the rest of your season, basically. So I think a lot of it stems from just not trying to be injured. So that's why you see when someone drives at you in the All-Star game, the guys are like not even trying to,
But I agree with you, bro. But I think there's a certain extent of being aggressive on the court. That's why we have all these different types of levels of fouls. You have your fragrance, your normal fouls, your ejection, your unsportsman fouls. Fouls that we don't talk too much about at the same time. It goes by the level of how they really want to play. And like you said, getting injured in an All-Star game is not worth it compared to getting injured within the season, because you're going to lose out a lot for getting injured within the season. So that's why the NBA and David need to. It doesn't even need to change to that much. There's no like winning formula for All-Star weekend, but I think the money needs to change. And like the good example James just said now is home advantage. Know that you're fighting for that home advantage. That one player that's representing your team can make a huge difference for your playoff run.
And especially if you have like two guys like Celtics have Jaylen Brown and Tatum.
100%.
They're gonna go out there and fight for Celtics, because they've got a very good chance to get out the East and probably get the home court advantage. So there has to be some kind of incentive. And looking at this stat of only 3 fouls, 48 minutes. It's crazy, bro.
That's crazy.
That is ridiculous.
That really is crazy, bro. Like it is crazy. It just shows you how people just don't care anymore. It's just, guys are just, doing it for the sake of doing it. There's none of that thing, I'm not too sure. I just wanted to also check. I'm sure there are incentives as a player if you make the All-Star team, financial incentives.
Especially with your salary bracket, getting
the big players.
Yeah, of course.
And once they get the All-Star nod, they don't care. It's been accomplished.
No, that's so true. And you are right, James. The foul stats here explain it all. I mean, it was even who's this? Karl Anthony Towns had a 50-piece, and it didn't even feel like a 50-piece because of how easy his buckets were. The guy was just dunking for the sake of dunking.
Guys,
Actually,
there's a stat maybe we've all forgot. Russell Westbrook once won the MVP in the All-Star weekend coming off the bench. That's how hard that guy played. He came off the bench and won the MVP. And we know how Russell can be. Russell can have an off game, he can have a good game, but he came off the bench and he just played his heart out. There's a difference in playing your heart out, bro. We been crying about this, James ends that these guys don't think about the fans. It's not even, they don't even care. They'll get their half a million. They're gonna blow it in Vegas the same night, and they're gonna go back to the salary, and that's just how it is.
I know that's true. That's true. Yeah, I feel like these guys, man, they just take it way too easy. And yeah, James, you've said a mouthful with the whoever wins gets home court advantage. There needs to be more still. I think guys need to be forced, especially with regards to the dunk contest. I mean, what a terrible, like, for me, man, that was bad, bro. I didn't even wake up for that one. I just watched it on YouTube, just watched the highlights. Like, really, especially when you look at a player like Jaylen Brown, who's on so much money now. Like, really, what was he doing there? Like, it's only McClung who was actually, you could see that he had energy. He was the one that was serious about life. He really, really wanted to win it, and entertain us. Yeah,
we called it last week as well. I mean, like, that's the only person who can win this dunk contest. Yeah, and we said Jaylen Brown will make it to the finals, but let's be honest, when it's all about creativity, and that is where the guys are lacking. And I don't know, man. I don't know anymore about the dunk contest. I feel like even if someone can actually win the dunk contest just reenacting the past winners, wearing their jerseys. That's being creative. No, that's not asking for too much. That's being creative. But no one is thinking out of the box when it comes to the dunk contest. Besides my color, next year you can win it again.
Do you know what I think? I think we're slowly witnessing a death in the NBA. It's a bit sad that it's happening in our generation in front of our eyes. But we're slowly witnessing a death to the All-Star weekend. And unless the NBA does something, it will really become worse in the next few years. Because, like we spoke the other day, the last competitive dunk contest was the Aaron Gordon versus Levin. That was the last one. After that, it was all trash. So I think we need to accept, the NBA needs to accept that maybe the time is run. Maybe the dunk contest has come to an end.
What do you replace it with, though? Because it's a weekend. You need to replace it with something.
Yeah, this is my point. Remove the NBA players. Remove the NBA players, right? Look for those guys that I spoke about last week, the Globetrotters, the YouTube dunkers, all over the US. Go around looking for those showcasers and make it, I don't know, find maybe ways of sponsoring those guys, put some incentives in there, put some money, big money, and then get those guys to make the show. Because it's embarrassing that the past 2 seasons, the dunk contest has been won by someone from the G League. It's very much embarrassing. And it's not someone who's in the NBA. And then we have the NBA players who are not willing to participate. I spoke about the whole LeBron thing, that he's part of the reason why the NBA, the dunk contest has fallen off, because he's like upper echelon all-star, superstar, the face of the league, but he doesn't want to participate. He totally refused to participate in the dunk contest. So the lack of buy-in from those big players affects the whole contest because no one wants to play. When Ja came in and Zion, we thought, Ja versus Zion is going to be a hell of a dunk contest, but they never bought into it. And now we have players that are not even known as creative dunkers. Jaylen Brown, he just came into like, okay, let me just do it. But we know that he's not even one of the, So unless they do something, it's really going to go all the way down, up to a point where no one will even tune in to watch anymore.
Yeah. James, you wanted to say something?
There's been a big push to introduce the 1v1 similar to the US basketball.
That one is fire.
I would love it, bro. Like KD versus
dude.
Versus Wemby, bro. Like something like that. Bro. That is something I love. Yeah.
But who do you think? Okay, they usually pick, like, let's say they'll pick maybe 10. On how many people do you think they should pick? Like, the same as the
Should be a
3-point
bracket, bro. Should be like 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eight.
Not too much.
And then-
We don't want a big bracket unless they're gonna
Yeah.
do a whole weekend. 8 players,
Yeah.
1-on-1. Next 2 go. It's semifinals, and then it's finals. Then you're done.
And the
But you
Yeah.
gotta earn your spot in the top
Yeah.
8. You
Let's
have
be
to
for real.
earn your spots in the top 8, and it's not about positions. It's not
Yeah.
about you're a
Not
big
about
man
that.
against. It's about except who's
Whoever
number
against
1.
whoever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
who's
and
number 1? Who's taking it all the way?
Yeah,
No, I think it
will
will be a nice. That's smart. That's very smart. I didn't think of even about that, Jake.
Yeah,
like
that one
that.
James will be fire. And as well, they're even injuries, they're minimal. You know, it's not like people have to run, people have to dunk. It's all about let's see your skill set. And I just wanted to ask you guys, which 3 players, I'll ask each of you guys to name 3 players that you think would win that. You know, I know KD is number 1 with all of us, but okay, or maybe okay, fine. Let me not even. I'll start with you, Waterboy Wavy. Like 3 players do you think would like dominate that? A 1-on-1.
So obviously 1-on-1 is ISO. I'm just thinking of the best like isolation.
Yeah.
Yeah, ISO. Yeah, ISO.
KD is definitely there. James Harden is there too. I know he's out of his prime now, but I still put him there because he's cooking on the Clippers. The third one, I think Trae Young can win it too.
Jeez.
No, Kyrie Irving.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Shit.
there we go.
Come on.
There we go. There we go. And then
Kyrie
Tabo.
No, I agree with KD and Kyrie. Like Kyrie was my number 1 pick already when it came to the 1-on-1 part. But at the same time, my third one, I still give LeBron, guys. Let's not get it out of it, man. LeBron is still playing defense. He's still playing bully ball. He's still the top player in the world. So like, there's no way I can leave him out of that top 3, especially 1-on-1. I'm talking about 1-on-1. Out of the top 8 players, I'm looking at body size. I'm looking at skill set. LeBron can still take on the guys at his age.
Yeah. Ends, your top 3?
I'm gonna go with Ant-Man. I'm putting Ant-Man in there.
Yeah.
I'm putting Joel. I'm putting Joel. Yeah.
Joel. We're not shooting free throw ends.
Yeah, we're not
No,
shooting
but
free
like, and then last one, Luka. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Luka, Ant-Man, and Joel. Just to like balance it up.
Alrighty, James. James, I know he's gonna drop James.
No. I'm just saying. I think on the 1-on-1, I think we have to think about what does the 1-on-1 entail. There's an element of ISO, an element of ball handling ability, and you've also got to be able to defend. So there's a lot of that. So I think a lot of the names you guys mentioned, a lot of them don't have no D. Like Trae Young has absolutely no D. You'll get
no.
So and there's very few players that you really think about it have this handling skill. They've got the ISO ability, and they've got a bit of D and size, because as well, the size comes into effect.
So size plays a huge role, bro.
So Kyrie, when it's Kyrie's turn to defend, he's gonna see flames. You put a big guy in front of him, you put Wemby in front of him, bro. Wemby's gone.
But give Kyrie the ball first, and if he scores the first time,
he has to go first. If he goes
it's over. It's over, bro. Kyrie is gonna drop 10 in a row.
Or maybe you say guards versus guards and
bigs. Just put everyone into
top 8.
There's no size advantages. So I think
mix it up.
It's tricky, bro. There's not too many. Just think about it. There's how many players that has the D, ISO, handling, size. Yes.
LeBron, Jason Tatum, just
Paul George.
Those are Paul George, Kawhi, PG is 9.
Yeah, y'all PG, dog.
of all players, Paul George will cook you on the ball.
Yeah.
He's got
And
size.
then he'll lock you up until
Yeah, all day.
Yeah. But you are right, even with Tatum. Thanks, Tabo, for throwing in.
Yeah, I just wanted to make you happy, man. Let's
what is
move on.
James' three then? What's your three then, James?
Skilled and with handling. And I think there's very few. LeBron, I'm not sure about LeBron's handles, bro. LeBron has that, that typical, what is it? The Lafaki
crossover.
That's a weak move, man, but he still cooks though.
Hey, what body? Physically. Yeah. I think.
So, give us his name.
James,
give us your name.
Yeah, give us your three, James. Yeah.
No, I said I agree with Paul George.
Yeah.
I agree with Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
And a guy that I also think can do it is Ant-Man. Ant-Man, I think.
Yeah.
He'll ISO, he'll defend, and he plays hard, bro. So I think.
Yeah. It's a nice pick.
Joel Embiid, no ways, bro.
Yeah, no ways.
Like, I have to disagree with you.
But the size, dog. And that guy,
the handle.
They'll beat him on the ground. Joel. They'll just run past him all day.
That guy has an 80 piece this season, and look at him. Let's be serious.
Yeah. Okay. My ones. I'll name my ones. Of course, Paul George, KD, and guys, I'm gonna go with Jokic personally. I think
he's too slow, dog. He's too slow.
Guys, AD can lock that guy up one-on-one.
No, he can't.
Guys, post game.
Prime AD. Prime AD. The AD that's playing now.
We're not talking about
we're talking about AD now.
The guy's too slow.
What makes Jokic good is that
Jokic has been cooking.
He's got vision, right? Yeah. Well, this is ISO. You've got to go head on, bro.
Thank you, James.
That guy assist will kill you, but like in terms of
ISO play, Jokic. Come on.
Nah. Okay, fine. I'll go with Kyrie then. Kyrie is my third option. But
and he's a former Celtic.
Yeah, he is. Special mentions Deep Booker.
Yeah, maybe.
He can't defend though, bro. Like when he's quite small, bro.
I think this type of format would suit the older generation.
Yeah.
Your Stephon Marbury, your Iverson, your Kobe in their prime. This type of format would have been so great to just throw in there back then. Right now, we don't have handlers. We have scorers now in the NBA.
Yeah.
You have a bunch of scorers, not guys with the package. A lot of guys don't have packages.
Also, Tabo, I think the guys these days play a lot of marshmallow basketball, where they're not getting dirty and they're not getting like every small thing is a foul. Like it's just gotten too soft. So I don't think right now with the players in this generation, they would really excel in that. But the older guys, Abu Jordan, they used to like take.
Would have been great.
Each other on, They used to
that would have been great. That would have been amazing. They used to,
and then you can even do that in game. Jordan would do that in game with he used to do that in game. Like, I'm taking you on, come. And that used to like make the game interesting. But these players, they're too soft for that.
Too soft. Yeah. Marshmallow. Cool. I know. I feel like we should segue to a topic that I also wanted us to cover. It's outside of the All-Star game. Let me just quickly find this and share my screen, guys. So recently, on a podcast, they asked Damian Lillard his starting five with the current players. I'm not sure if you guys saw it. Yeah, and this is the starting five, gents. So of course, including himself. Yeah. So in the back of my mind, I'm asking myself, like, out of all players, no disrespect, man, Bam is an all-star, but I thought maybe he would pick his teammate Giannis, in my opinion, or even a Jokic or an Embiid, but like your guys' take, and even the way he said Bam Adebayo, it's like for me, I don't want to create any sort of rumor, but it seems as if, there may be something between him and Giannis, in my opinion. Or maybe I'm jumping the gun, but yeah, I'll go with you, Tabo.
Nah, bro, he was just play. He mentioned Bam because he's playing it safe. I want you, a superstar can't mention another superstar while they're playing with a superstar. So he mentioned Bam because, like you said, imagine naming Jokic over Giannis. There's some credibility to that. Imagine choosing Joel Embiid over Giannis. Now imagine you can compare those 2-3 players with Bam. Yeah. So I think he was just being much more safe, and Bam is good. Bam is a nice player to have in your team. Don't get it wrong, with no disrespect whatsoever. But it was the safest and good on the best answer he can give in terms of one of the top centers in the league. That's what I personally believe.
No. Cool. Maybe I was just reading into it way too much, in the sense. It's just that it's the manner in which he said Bam Adebayo. That's the thing.
But X,
Mm-hmm.
One thing maybe that you're overlooking is that, remember when he was still in Portland and he was asked which team he would rather move to, and he mentioned the Heat. Is it not because is it not because he's got like a very good chemistry with guys that side? So much so that he would most likely choose someone from the Heat, since he was very vocal about moving to those guys. So maybe it's one of that. Maybe he has got like an inclination towards the Heat. And that's what I think.
And then why did he go to Milwaukee then? If or did they force him to go to Milwaukee? Because I find it very strange. I mean, he wanted to go to the Heat, or maybe the Heat's package.
Trade pieces, bro.
Yeah, trade pieces on great.
The Heat wanted Tyler Hero. I think Portland wanted Tyler Hero. They wanted someone close to his shooting caliber or potential. They were not going to release Tyler Hero. And right now, Tyler Hero is a star for the Miami Heat. Duncan Robinson, they don't want to take a risk on him because they know what he can do.
Yeah, we've seen.
But then let's look at who else you're going to trade. You weren't going to trade for Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry was done. He got traded recently as well. There's no other pieces.
Yeah. I don't know. Cool, gents. I think I was reading into this way too much, and by my mind tends to wander when I see things like this. But, thanks so much for the clarity. And last but not least, I wanted to start introducing this sort of segment where we basically, actually, Waterboy Wavy gave me an idea. He sent me a TikTok video of Steve Nash versus Chris Paul and
CP3.
CP3 and who I
in their prime, both in their prime.
Yeah. And so of course we were going back and forth, and I just wanted to ask you guys and just bring it into this segment, into this show. Jimmy, I'll go with you because you're very quiet, mate. CP3 or Nash?
I've never been a big fan of CP3. He's not my boy. I don't fucks with CP3. My beef with Steve Nash is how he won the MVP with those weak stats as well.
Yeah,
I agree.
MVP, compared to what guys have to do now to win MVP, it's crazy that those numbers was it to actually win.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there was a lot of biasness when it comes to Steve Nash, and I think there was a lot of overhype, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. I think at that time they just weren't used to such a typical facilitator back in those days. It was all bully ball and fighting, and just drafting the tallest player in the team. You got the 6'2", 6'3" guy who facilitates and controls the game. So I think it was something quite new, and there was like a lot of overhype. Whereas Steve Nash now is equivalent to Austin Reeves right now. Let's be real. They play the same game, same
Damn.
numbers.
Yeah.
Put Austin Reeves in
True.
Steve Nash's place back
Damn.
then and that generation. Let's be real, bro. You know,
Yeah.
so I'm a hater of Steve Nash as well. So you gave me two haters, brother. Two guys that I don't hard, bro. So I think out of the virtue of why I'm hating so hard, I'm gonna have to go to Chris Paul, bro, because it's in the era of this is now the God era. You know, you gotta be a dope God. You know, and I think in terms of the current crop of guards, I mean, you have guards like Steph Curry, who doesn't really facilitate. Not really. I think he creates for himself. You know, you don't see Steph Curry with like 14, 15 assists, you know, type thing. You know? So in terms of just the facilitator, like your Rondo position, your Chris Paul, those were pure facilitators. You know, they put guys on. You know, so in terms of that, I think I'd go with Chris Paul. For
yeah. All right, and then when that ends, who do you go with, King? You're on mute.
I think if we look at the guard position, looking historically from where it came from, when you're looking at the likes of Magic, all the way up to now, the last guard that you can safely say was really like proper into his role, I guess we can say it's CP3, guys. He was even called the point guard for a reason, guys. For a reason.
Right.
So putting him against Steve Nash, I feel like it's kind of you are underrating him. He's well clear, in my opinion. He's way well clear of Steve Nash. So CP3.
Yeah. And then when Atabo, I just quickly
bro, CP3 all day, bro. That guy has struggled. He's tried his best. He's lost some games where it was never his fault, and he had such a good chance of making it. Steve Nash just had those right pieces. He had a right piece back in the days where the game was more surrounded by around the center. He had Stoudemire back then.
Yes.
So I think CP3 over Steve any day.
Yeah. And then of course when you look at what I can head to head, you know, of course they longevity wise they both the same. Playoffs played, CP3 has played more. All-Star games, CP3 has made 12 out of Steve Nash's 8. Of course, MVPs, Steve Nash has 2. All NBA first team, CP3 has more. All NBA teams, CP3 has 11. And that's impressive, right? In 19 seasons, 11. That is crazy. Even all defensive. This was the one that I was like, wow, okay, CP3, you're the one. Because initially I was leaning towards Nash when I was arguing with Waterboy. And then when I started looking at this, bro, I'm like, okay, this guy's got all defensive.
What did Waterboy say?
He said CP3.
CP3.
Yeah, I said CP3.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I said CP3, bro. You know, and then of course assist leaders, steals even, bro. Like, you know, it just shows you that CP3 was two-way. You know, he wasn't necessarily a facilitator only, but he was also quite defensive. I won't mention rookie of the year because I mean Nash had a stack. Rookie.
Yeah.
The rookies in Nash's year.
Okay, let's look at those points per game. You're telling me that right now in the NBA, if you're scoring 14 points a game, you're an MVP.
Never.
Never, bro. Never. But there's this one. Yeah, this one. There was this other one. Best season. Yeah, best season. Yeah. Right. And as you can see, 18 to 22.
18 points. And he was MVP. I was shocked when I look at the NBA. I'm like, no ways, man.
Nah, he's a role player, bro. Yeah. He's
Crazy.
a role player with 18 points, bro. And then, of course, even the assists. Yeah, it was the assists. Maybe at that time, assists went as like they were weighed more. And yeah, but like CP3 for me, I mean, even with steals per games, blocks per games, he still had better stats, bro. You know, so yeah, like it is what it is. I'm also leaning towards CP3, man. I even had to retract my statement when I was talking to Waterboy. Like, you know what? CP3, yeah. And then, of course, this comment here, if Steph tried to facilitate, he'd have 3 people on him every time he crossed half court. You know, is that factual?
I think that the problem with Steph, you can't. It's quite tricky, man, because you can't play too much double teaming and triple teaming because you'll get hurt by Klay Thompson. You know, so you throw 3 guys at him and they can shoot, bro. You're gonna regret like very badly trying to you know. You triple team guys like your Lakers where they just run down the lane all the time. There's not too many shooters all around him. But I feel like the Warriors, I would not attend that. You know, and at some point you'll have to change your tactics very quickly because that's not a team where you double team. You know, so I think for me, I kind of disagree, in my humble opinion.
Man, Steph is Steph, bro. Steph is unpredictable. That's it.
Yeah.
With all due respect, Steph is just unpredictable at this age, and it's. You know, you look at how Ray Allen did it at his age. Steph is only getting to that point.
Yeah.
I think that record. I don't know if James Harden would have like a breakout season where he just
never.
That's all he does is threes. But I think that record will be extremely hard to get by. I mean, look,
one of the hardest. Yeah.
Keegan Murray. He's determined to hunt that down, you know. So I'll be quite keen to see Keegan Murray's longevity in the future. But he's all threes, bro. That's his game.
I think for him it's going to be hard because of the team he's currently playing for. He's going to be in that team for the next 5 years, and he's not going to be the main guy.
Yeah, true.
I think if he played for another team, where like your Detroit, where he's playing with Cade as well, you know, I think maybe he can make those more shots than expected. But you're playing with Fox, you're playing with Sabonis, you're playing with Harrison Barnes as well.
Yeah, look, I mentioned him because in terms you have to be young, similar to LeBron's record. I mean, let's say Ja Morant can't beat the record anymore. He had one off season. You can't have an off season at all. You know, to beat those places, the 3-point record and LeBron's points per game record. You've got to play for 20 seasons, have minimal injuries, score 25 points per game. That's almost impossible to get through. What Steph does to attempt at least 7 or 8 shots per game and at least convert about 4 to 5 shots every single game for 15 seasons. It's crazy. At the level of performance, it's hard. Everyone thought Ray Allen's record was unbeatable because he had beaten Reggie Miller, you know. So tough record, but I think Steph is in a class of his own. Yeah.
Well, personally, guys, this is an unpopular opinion, and I know you guys are not going to agree with me, but I don't give a flying fuck. I think Trae Young is going to break Steph's 3-point record. And that's not to say that Trae Young is better, but I think Trae Young has. Remember, Steph had to grow into being a superstar. You know, he didn't hit the ground running the way Trae Young did. And I'm not saying that Trae Young.
Yeah, stop you.
Yeah,
you've got an unnatural allegiance to losers. What's
well, he's not a loser, but y'all are acting like Steph was a winner when he started. Y'all are acting like Steph was a winner when he started. I mean, he wasn't a winner. He had to.
I would agree with you. Eds, if we see his first season after he moves from Atlanta. I can then come in and say, okay, what has he done then? Because right now, that will never happen. The more he stays in Atlanta,
I think you guys hit the spot on. He needs to win games.
The more he stays in Atlanta, the less chances of him ever getting to half of Steph's record.
And you need to, like you said it now, you need to win games. Steph has been playing games. We're talking about playoffs. We're talking about that. You guys hit it spot on, dude. He's not going to be able to. No one's going to come close to that.
In Atlanta, no.
But
no way.
But you guys know that it's regular season, right? That's where it's weighed on. It's not weighed on playoffs.
Don't matter. Overall points. 3 pointers.
he's not going to come. He can maybe make it to the top 5, maybe make it to the top 5, but
I would have said,
not catch Steph.
I would have said X, the one person who's natively closer. The problem is that the problem now is his age. Is Dame. Dame is the second closest natural shooter.
I think it's
facts.
But
guys, look at
now
there's even a video on YouTube. Yeah, Trae Young becomes the fastest player in NBA history to reach 400 career.
But look at the team. Look at the team.
Duncan Robinson was the fastest player to reach 100 3-pointers. So what does that mean?
For me, it's not about winning. It's about getting it's all about scoring. You know, I can score. I can be like, who's this guy? Devin Booker dropped 62 and still lose a game. 62 is a lot of points.
You can't do that every game. You can't do that every game.
So what's
every game, bro?
Duncan Robinson is out the league in 2 seasons, bro.
Yeah, that's how old is Trae though? How old is Trae? Isn't he young still?
Can he do?
Oh, excuse the pun.
Can he do that consistently though?
Yeah, excuse the pun.
Nah, bro. As long as Duncan Robinson is in the Heat, he'll always be in the conversation of the fastest or the quickest to make it to something.
But you know what the thing is? Isn't Trae Young usually the primary ball handler for his team?
Yeah, he has to pass it.
Yeah, he's a point guard.
Yeah,
he's a point guard.
Yeah, he has to pass it. But like, of course, with him playing so much ISO and the volumes of threes that he shoots, I mean, there's a guy named Jimmy High Roller. I'm gonna share Jimmy High Roller's video with you guys. I just can't, of course, share it now about the 3-point record. And he speaks on Trae Young. He even creates a 4-point line in that video and says, which player has the most 4-point? Have you seen that video?
He has the most 4-pointers made in the NBA history. Yeah.
As long as Atlanta, he's never
has the largest range when it comes to people.
Yeah, I can agree on that, James.
Perimeter shooter, whereas Trae Young can shoot from like 35 out.
Yeah. But the thing is that with me, and I'm not saying that Trae Young is better than Steph. Don't get me wrong. He is nowhere near the levels of Steph. I doubt that he'll even reach Steph's legacy, right? This is just purely a record. It's like Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller didn't win jack shit. You know what I mean? He didn't. But he had the record for the longest time until Ray came and took it. I'm viewing it from a volume standpoint.
He was shooting in a center area, bro.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a very long time for the game to evolve with Steph. So it's not
one thing that you guys are overlooking. Sorry to cut you, James. Yeah. One thing that you guys are overlooking is the involvement of Klay Thompson in Steph's game. That helped him a lot because of the way that they played. It enabled Steph to be more free because those guys were now the Splash Brothers. They were now shooting threes. It was now their game. So Klay being as good or as almost good as Steph kind of helped Steph achieve the level that he's at right now. Because if you look at the other guys that are closer to Steph, Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, they didn't have an as equal of someone in their team that would like enable them to go up. You wouldn't see that. If you look at football, where you have someone who strikes as similar to as you, it enables your game to go up. But if you are the only one, at some point you're going to run out of air, you're going to run out of steam, and your record is going to go down.
I think to add on to that, it's because Steph opens up the court so much, and you also have Klay open up the court so much. Now you have these splash bros, and you can't clog the paint, because all they'll do is shoot. So when you have two guys who can just shoot, then it's like an open court. Now imagine back in the days when Jordan Poole was there, it was they say, So I think having those guys on board playing together was very good. Now that Klay, I don't see Klay at the Warriors next season, to be very honest. For the kind of money that he wants, I don't see it.
For them.
Yeah, so now you won't find that caliber of 3-point shooters again. I think that era of the Warriors' era of 3-point shooting is about to end this season. You know,
it's
and now that Steph is the only guy, you know, you're gonna see them clogging up the paint, and you know, so let's see if Steph can maintain this level of shooting next year without Clay there, because now you know it was an open court for him now.
Yeah. Now I think it's going to go back to more of like a native point guard role, where he's slowly going to start facilitating, and they need to look for a proper center. If they want to play competitive ball next year, they need to look for a proper center, and that will help them. Because right now,
that was such a good acquisition for the Mavs. You know, they got them a young, proper center at the Mavs. And I don't know why it's taking Warriors so long to get a center. I mean, they had James Wiseman, they fumbled him. But I just think they need a very hungry.
They're still stuck. They're still stuck at the whole legacy that is pretty much gone. But I think they need to clean shop next season. They need to start afresh.
Yeah. So, guys, as you can see, this is how many Steph has, right? He's got 3,642. Yeah, because that muse is very repetitive. What again? English is escaping me, but it's a legitimate site, right? So
reliable.
Reliable. Thank you there, water boy Njayam. So now I'm also looking at who's this guy? Oh my days, I think I canceled these things here. Damn, sorry. Let's just check here. Trae Young. And Trae Young is only 25 net, gents, by the way. Still, for me, a lighty when it comes to this. You know, this is how many this guy has at the age of 25. And mind you, this guy doesn't rely on his athleticism. Oh, sorry, didn't I share my screen? Oh, my days. My bad.
But you don't need to be athletic to shoot, though.
Yeah. Sorry?
Yeah,
you don't. But that's his primary weapon, though. I don't think Steph had this many threes at 25.
But
that's just my opinion.
What you're showing us is not saying anything, really.
Oh, it's not saying anything.
Consistency is the name of the game for this.
Oh, so this guy is not consistent, in your opinion. He's not in the top 5
every
season for 3 points made.
Look at the team, bro. The team also matters.
Yeah, if we can just keep this up, then maybe I hear what you're saying, but I don't see him doing that.
The team, bro.
Well, what's discussion?
What's his 3-point percentage?
It's 37 his career. Yeah.
37. So are you really trying to argue with the guy who shoots 37%, bro?
Yeah, but I'm just saying at Trae's age, Steph was not on this amount of threes.
37% right now in today's NBA is average. Let's be honest, bro.
Yeah, it is average, but I mean it's.
So why are you riding on an average play? Right, average 3-point shooter.
It's not dude. It's all about volume. He's not.
If he's shooting 40%,
volume. It's like Kobe's 81. Kobe's 81 was not the most efficient 81 we've seen. It was not efficient. Homie was just shooting and he eventually reached 81, but people don't talk about the amount of shots he missed when he made the 81. So, I mean, my argument is not to say that this kid is better than Steph. No, it's just all about the record. That's all. Just because you are there.
I think let's see end of the season.
My ex, you are putting an hypothetical milestone for him that he's the most likely to get there. And my argument is the route to success, how he is most likely going to achieve that is going into a team that will win. At Atlanta, that's not going to happen.
Won't.
So my point is the route to success, if he's going to get there, the route to success is longevity that the guys are saying. And
but I think he's going
being on a team, that is going to win. Steph went all the way up there because he was on a team that was winning. And in the last 5 years, they've got the most rings. Why? Because they're a team that's winning. And whatever individual stats are propping up a team, they come from a team that wins. That's my point. Yes. Right. You're not going to state pat yourself all the way to Steph's record. No way.
Nah. We've seen Westbrook stat bad as way.
Westbrook did it. I was about to say that.
Yeah, and he was losing, you know. So for me, like I said, it's unpopular. I like, you know, just having unpopular opinions. But of course, we'll just have to wait and see. Because you are right, it is all hypotheticals. We don't know what will happen to him. He's still fit. He's a guy who's got a very high usage rate. Trae Young, he hardly gets injured. Like I haven't heard of him missing a week worth of games.
Right.
It's usually very efficient. Yeah.
Quickly, X. We're talking about Steph's record. Who do you guys think is the closest? Yeah. Well, closest is like an understatement. But who do you guys think is the closest to get to James' record? Current players.
Points.
I see the points.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Points. Nobody.
No,
I think
like just choose one guy, active players who might touch the hem of James' record.
I think
just one
Luka can come close. I think me too.
Yeah.
I think Luka. And as well, it's because of how he plays.
Luka will get fat when he's 32, and that's a problem.
Thank you. Yeah, I think there's agreement on that. Yeah, I think Luka. I'm
not saying Luka, bro. I think Luka, the way he plays, bro. I mean, it's the way he plays. He's not out here running and sprinting. It also plays a role. That's why guys like CP3 have been playing for such a long time. Even though CP3 as well, but CP3 was a bit injury prone actually.
Luka, Ant-Man, Devin Booker. The problem with Devin Booker is that
Ant-Man is not prolific. You have to be really
prolific. You have to be really. Yeah.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
What about Booker?
Nah, you know what's the problem, Waterboy? Shai Gilgeous. I mean, Uche isn't. How old is this guy first? Uche?
He's 25. He's 25.
Yeah, he's been in the league for too long.
Yeah, too long.
I think he primed too late. He primed.
Yeah, and as well, Luka hit the ground running.
Yeah,
he hit the ground running. He was that guy from jump. We were like, okay, this kid is special. Where Shai, it took time. You see,
but I'm telling you again, Luka's body doesn't look like a body that's gonna survive 12 seasons of the NBA. That's my only issue with Luka. Luka in the off season, he's a chubby dude in the off season, bro. Like at some point, you've got to lean out the body to survive when the bones get achy. You know, so LeBron's record is a longevity record and a consistency record. You know,
100%.
And looking at his body doesn't look to me. Even Jokic's body, it's not those bodies that can survive 20 seasons of the NBA season. Way more than 20 seasons. Their bodies are not built like that. You know, the Paul George frame. You know, that's a frame,
like
Paul
even
had the NBA at his feet, but he just didn't translate. But that kind of body also is strong to make it through for 20 seasons.
Yeah, you are right. Small forwards, essentially. Even another guy's Tatum. I also think Tatum will crack the top.
Tatum has the body. He's got the frame, the attitude, the mindset. Doesn't get injured a lot. He's a scorer.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah, he's not out here.
He's been 5-6 seasons, and it's not been like 30 points per game. He has to be like 27, 28, and I don't think he's hit that consistently from the jump. You know, and I think that's why if you don't do it from the jump, you will make it. Luka's the only who's there from the jump.
Yeah, from the jump. Luka, man, even in his sophomore season, Luka was dropping crazy numbers.
Ja could have, but he got injured, and I think that really.
Yeah.
Also, the style of play, style of play is prone to injury. That's we saw that in the beginning. His knees won't make it past 10 seasons.
His knees and shoulders.
Yeah.
You are right. But KD definitely, KD won't reach. I think KD will finish like in the top 6, top 5, in my opinion. Already he's in the top 10.
Yeah.
I think you'll finish top 6, top 5. It's just that for me, I just feel like KD wasn't greedy enough. But I had these talents, bro. And they
you got injured. I think you missed a season.
Yeah. But as well, I mean, it's an achievement. He's gonna definitely crack 30K, and I feel like as a player, if you're gonna crack 30K as any player, dog, that's an achievement. 30,000, bro. Not a lot of people get to 30,000. But LeBron's record, James. You see, that's the one way I can't.
He's gonna hit 40.
I can't. But But the 3.1, bro, best believe, because even on 2K, you know the simulators, like, of course, Curry is number one, but so many, like Reggie Miller and them are like in the top.
Bro.
Sorry, like
no, I'm
so,
saying
like there's this other YouTuber, Chris Smooth, right? He plays 2K. You know, he likes simulating and everything. He simulated the 2K simulator. I used it 10 years later from now. And there's a lot of those guys. A lot of these guys, your Reggie Millers and your Ray Allens, they down there, bruh. You know, and so that's what I foresee, bro. Like those guys will get out of that list, bro. It's gonna be very interesting to see who's gonna finish with the most, bro. But I mean, I still stand with my statement. It's very controversial. I like using it against guys who support Steph Curry, just to raffle their feathers. And I know James is one of them. James is a huge fan, but it is what it is.
The dude, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Same here, bro. Like same here, fam. You know, just because you've got a record, you know, it's like Haaland. Haaland has the Premier League goal scorer record, but he's no, for me personally, what CR7 did in 2008 when he won the Ballon d'Or, for me, man, still trumps what Haaland has achieved as far as, you know, winning the Premier League with 36 goals. It's just how CR7 got his 32 goals was incredible. It was moments of brilliance after moments of brilliance. At times, Jimmy, you know, CR was carrying us, just scoring bangers after bangers, you know, but you know, I digress back to basketball. But guys, thank you so much. This was an incredible episode. I never knew that it would drag on this long. One just needs to chop it up into bits and pieces, you know, just to extend the content, but much appreciated. Can we do it again next week, gents? That's if you guys are available. Yeah, I'll hit you up, of course.
We'll support.
Yeah, because of course tomorrow, actually, this morning games return.
Lakers Warriors, man.
Yeah, and that's a big one. I mean, the Warriors are in form. The Warriors are in form as well. They're doing quite well. They're climbing.
It's gonna be an amazing game tomorrow. But anyways, guys.
Yeah. Thank you so much, gents, for availing yourselves. Guys, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. Help a brother out. This is Easy Sport, and we are. Peace.
Peace, boys.
Peace.